So you've heard about the Kit MCP and you're wondering what it actually does and whether it's going to be useful for business owners and creators like you. Well, Kit invited me to get early access to their MCP. So I've spent the past few weeks testing it inside my own business. Here's what surprised me. This wasn't about AI writing my emails at all. Not for me anyway. It was about everything that's happening around the emails. Within a couple of hours of connecting it, I'd already built a sequence that I have literally been putting off for an entire year, probably over a year. I created a new repurposing strategy that's really easy to execute, and I was able to finish email tasks that usually would have taken me the entire day in just a matter of minutes. So in this video, as someone who is completely non-techie, I'm going to walk you through what I've been using Kit's MCP for, what's impressed me, what I've been testing, so you can decide whether it's worth adding to the way you run email too. So let's just rewind a second for all those fellow non-techie people out there. What even is an MCP? An MCP is a model context protocol. And basically all you need to know is that it allows you to connect Kit securely to whatever LLM, whether that's ChatGPT or Claude. Personally, I'm a Claude girly. So instead of using those two tools separately, you can now use them together. And you're no longer having to copy and paste between the two or work between the two. It can all happen inside your AI assistant. Like I said, I am not techie at all, so I'm going to explain this in the least techie way possible. What you do need to know is that my name is Iman. I am an email strategist and copywriter. I run Iman Copyco with my small team of email experts. We help you take your email list from has potential to highly profitable. I'm a long-time Kit girly. I've loved Kit for a really long time, so I was really excited to dive into this. So let's get into what I've actually been using this MCP for and what you might want to use it for as well. So the first thing you got to do is actually connect Kit to Claude, and it takes about 5 minutes, less than actually. I was a little bit nervous about it because again, I hate having to look up like documentation and figure out how to do this techie stuff, but it was actually really easy. The documentation was super easy to understand. It was just a few steps and it took literally minutes. So once that was connected, I was able to start playing around with it. The first thing I did was create my forever sequence. So let me tell you what that means. I, for the longest time, have wanted to create an automated evergreen nurture sequence. So my newest subscribers are being nurtured all year round with my best emails. But what that meant was I had to sit down and literally look through all the emails I've ever sent and collate my best performing emails, my top performing emails, the emails that I really loved writing and think would be, great for new subscribers to read when they first meet me. I'd have to sit down and collate all of those myself manually. I've been meaning to do that for over a year, and I have 3 kids. I don't have time to do like nice to do stuff, nice to have. So I basically just put it off for an entire year. So when I got the Kit MCP all connected, the first thing I did was tell Claude to collate my best performing emails, my top performing emails, any emails that demonstrated any kind of thought leadership style, collate them all into a document so that I can see them all and start editing. It did that. And it literally took minutes. It went through all my emails in Kit. I've not left Claude. Claude goes into Kit, goes through every broadcast I've ever sent since I started using Kit, and collates my best performing emails and any emails that demonstrate any kind of thought leadership, exactly what I asked it to do. It put it all into a Google document. I then edit the emails, make sure I'm happy with everything, subject line, preview text, everything is there already. I can see even the stats, so I can see how popular each email was. And then I take that Google Doc and then I tell Claude to upload these emails into Kit as a sequence. And then it did it. It tells me when it's done. It gave me the link to the sequence. I click on the link and it takes me to my brand new sequence in Kit. All I have to do is publish each email, decide on the delays and the cadence. And I could have actually told Claude what I wanted the delays to be. Like it would have done that for me if I'd asked it to. And the sequence was ready. It's literally ready to go after a whole year of wanting to do this. I didn't do it because it would have taken me so long. I would have had to spend hours doing it. Then I would have had to get my assistant on the job to put it all into Kit. Claude did it in minutes. So my forever sequence is pretty much ready to go. The next thing I did was ask Claude to go into my Kit, analyze all my emails and create a voice guide for me based on the emails that I had written. I already actually have a voice guide, a very, very good voice guide that was created by an exceptionally talented brand voice copywriter. But I wanted to see if the voice guide that was created from my emails would be any different. So Claude did it. It went through my Kit, it analyzed my writing, and it created a voice guide. Now, this is a voice guide that I could give to my team members if I wanted them to start writing my newsletters for me. Right now, I'm cool writing my own newsletters. I don't need that. But here's what I did next with this voice guide that was super, super helpful. I wanted to see how well Claude could write an email for me. Now that I had this email voice guide, would it help Claude write better emails for me? Now, just to be clear, this was an experiment. I still like to write my own emails, but I just wanted to see if it could actually do it. So I gave Claude the transcript of an event that I recently hosted called the Email Debrief. You can actually still get that. I'll put the link down in the description, but basically the Email Debrief was me giving people a rundown of the email marketing landscape now, right? The state of the email type of thing in 2026. So I took the transcript. I told Claude to go through the transcript and find the part where I specifically wrote about brand world building. It was about 10 minutes of speaking, so it had a lot of content to take from. I then uploaded the voice guide and told it to use the voice guide to turn that part of the transcript into an email that I could send. And then also, once you're done, schedule the email inside Kit. All this is from Claude, right? Again, it did it. It produced an email from the transcript I gave it using the voice guide that it also produced. The email that it gave me was so much better than anything it's ever given me because it had the guidance of what my voice sounds like, how I write. I edited probably a couple of lines and it was done. And remember, it scheduled it to Kit for me. So all I had to do was press send when I was ready to send it. And to be clear, I'm pretty sure that it could have sent it for me, but I like to be a little bit careful. I don't give Claude permissions to do everything. I give it permission to do one thing at a time, and I'm fine with it scheduling emails for me, but I like to be the person who presses send. Another thing I did was ask it to create an email performance report for me. So I was like, look, I want you to go through my emails, check out my last 6 months of email activity, check out the stats, check out the content, check out my subscribers, all the things, all the data, and tell me what's working well, what's not working so well, what I could improve, and literally what I need to do to reach the goals of more conversions and list growth. Claude went through my kit, I guess, did its thing, whatever it wants to do in there, analyzed all my emails, analyzed all my stats, came back to me with an email performance report in a Google Doc that I can now keep and save and that I will action. I just want to share with you the outline of this email performance report because I know you're probably thinking, okay, sure, but how good was the report? Was it a quality report? It really was. I'm going to read this from my notes because there's a lot of points. Here are the main sections of the email performance report that it gave me, okay? Executive summary, list health and growth, engagement, opens, clicks, segments, subject lines, what gets opened, clicks and CTAs, what actually converts, offers, what's selling, what isn't, 90-day action plan, and methodology and sources. Now, I need you to understand that every section of this performance report was super detailed. I read this report and I was blown away because I can try to make these deductions. It would take me a really long time to do that, first of all. Everything it said was absolutely bang on. There was nothing I disagreed with. And it was clear that this was all based on data. It had analyzed what is in my Kit account and told me exactly what I need to do. This 90-day action plan that it gave me, I will actually be executing it. I will be doing this because it gave me the steps that I need to actually do what I want to do, get more conversions and build my list faster. It even told me what to focus on first, what my first priority should be in order to move the needle faster as soon as possible. So I'm going to be doing that. Now, on the topic of data analysis, I was also able to get Claude and Kit to work together and give me some really helpful data that I'd been wondering about that I hadn't really organized well enough myself to calculate, right? I could have done it, but it would have taken me a whole lot longer. I basically went into Kit and said, I'm going to look at my notes again to do this, okay? I said, tell me the percentage of my email list that are customers because I have the tag set up. I know what people have purchased, but I hadn't, for some reason, created a kind of universal way to figure out how many of my subscribers were actually customers, how many of them had purchased something. It told me that 13.7% of my email list are customers. They've actually given me money and paid me for something, right? Then I went a little bit deeper because, I have all kinds of offers, so I want more information. How many of those buyers are repeat buyers? It told me that 44 to 47% of those buyers are repeat buyers, which I was very happy about. Then it went even deeper and gave me a full-on breakdown. So 55.9% have bought only one product, 28.6% have bought two products, 7.5% have bought 3 products, 5.4% have bought 4 products, and 2.6% have bought 5 or more products. Those people are my super buyers. Now, I just started thinking about all the things I could do with this data. The very first thing I'm going to do is create a VIP list for the people who are repeatedly buying from me. Like, they are my people. They are my very important people, and I want to make them feel special. The first thing I did was create a segment with those buyers. And again, I did this all in Claude. I said, okay, great. Anyone who's bought 3 or more products, add the tag VIP, which it did. I also told it to add a tag to anyone who's bought anything from me ever, so that I could easily identify them in the future. So we added that tag, customers. And now we have 2 more segments that are going to change the way I email and convert my list, right? And then I have the list of people who keep buying from me and who are super fans. There's so much you can do with that information, so much you can do with that data. I am so excited to play around with that. The next thing I asked Claude to do was to pull out my top 10 performing emails. But before I go into why, I just want to just pause for a second and remind you that the whole point of this MCP is the fact that I haven't left Claude. I'm doing all of this in Claude, and it's doing its thing in the background inside Kit. I don't need to be in Kit while it does the thing. So I ask it to do the thing, it's loading, I carry on doing my tasks, I do what I'm doing, and then when it's done, it lets me know. Now, why did I want it to give me this? Well, I'm a big fan of repurposing. Like I said, I got 3 kids. I need to make the most of the content I've already created, because creating content forever and ever and never reusing it is not an option for me. So now that I have those top 10 performing emails based on click rates, open rates, all the things, and by the way, it gave me all those stats too, now I can repurpose those emails into YouTube videos. I can repurpose them into Instagram posts, LinkedIn posts, literally all the things. I get to decide, because now I know which emails my subscribers love the most, and I know the rest of my audience is going to love them too. So I'm not taking a chance on creating content. I'm creating more content based on the data that I already have. I know this content is going to work because it's already working. I should also mention that there are separate tools and software that can do this. Like, I could, and I have in the past, paid for a tool that connects with Kit, and then it tells me what my highest performing emails are. Those tools do exist, and they cost money. You got to pay for them monthly. They are subscriptions. But with Kit's MCP, I'm able to do this inside of Claude and not pay anything extra at all. I get full access to all my data presented to me in the easiest, fastest, most clear way possible. So that's what I've spent the last few weeks experimenting with and playing with when it comes to this new Claude Kit kind of integration. There are a few more things I intend to experiment with. So here's a couple. First of all, my tags, I'm so ashamed to say this, my tags are a little bit of a mess, and it's been really hard for me to organize them. Now, Kit recently dropped the new feature where we now have folders for our tags, yay. But I mean, I still got to do a lot of work manually to organize those into folders. I did ask Claude to reorganize my tags, to rename them in a way that works for me. Like, we were going to discuss how, we wasn't just going to go ahead and do it. Claude told me that it wasn't able to create folders for the tags. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. Hopefully we will be able to do that soon, because I know Kit is continuing to work on this. So hopefully it's coming soon. But it did give me a spreadsheet where basically it gave me a plan. So here are your current tags. Here are your inactive tags. Here are the tags that you currently have. Here's how you've named them. Here's how we should rename them. And so we are currently kind of working together to figure out this tag situation. Hopefully it will get a lot better, and I'll be able to organize my tags like I want them to. And it won't take me days to do it. The other thing that I'm really excited about and want to do more of is scheduling emails from inside of Claude. This is a game changer. Like, I don't even think I've fully understood what this means. So if I have written like a 10 email sequence, I don't need to spend hours plugging it into Kit anymore. I can give the sequence as a Google Doc to Claude and say, schedule these emails. I'm not one of those people who is going to scream on YouTube, but if I was going to scream, I would scream now. Like, are you kidding me? Those are the kind of things we're going to be able to do. You have a launch. You don't need to sit in Kit anymore and plug in your emails. Claude is going to do it for you. So exciting. This is changing the game. One thing I do want to touch on before we wrap up is the fact that while most people are super excited about this Kit MCP, I've seen a lot of people say a lot of great things about it, there are some people who are very upset that AI is being integrated into the way we use Kit. So I have a few things to say about this, because as someone who is an email marketer, like this is my entire job. This is how I feed my family, right? You would think that I may have some issues with this. I really don't. I really, really don't. Because for me, I'm seeing this as an asset. This is an additional team member. This is an assistant who is doing the things that I tell it to do. It is making my life easier, faster. I am getting through my work so much quicker. I'm able to do things in terms of, oh my gosh, in terms of data and analysis and telling me how I can make the most of email, how I can make more money, get my subscribers more engaged, get more subscribers, all the things. This is an asset to me. Now, some people are very upset by this just because AI is being mentioned, and I get it. I really do get the concerns we have with AI. Kit has already made it very clear that AI will always be an opt-in feature for them, so they're never going to force it on you. If you don't want anything to do with this, you don't have to have anything to do with this. I would say if you're worried about using the Kit MCP because you're worried about outsourcing your creativity and it kind of taking that from you, I don't actually think that you need to outsource your creativity at all. Like, I haven't. That's not how I've used it at all. I love to write emails. I will never stop writing my own emails. I don't want AI to write my emails. How I have been using AI with Kit is to improve my systems, my processes, my workflows, to give me my time back. I don't see why I need to be sat here for hours manually tagging people, manually creating segments, manually setting up my emails in Kit when Claude can do it in literally minutes. So before you write it off, I would really consider playing around with it, experimenting with it, and seeing what you can do with it. Give it a try. Give it a try. I want to say thank you to Kit for inviting me to the closed beta. I was super excited to get early access to this and test it out. If you're someone who doesn't yet use Kit, you should really check it out. Head over to emancopyco.com/Kit. That'll be in the description, and you can get your 14-day free trial of Kit and test it out. It also has one of the best free plans that I know of that allows you to have up to 10,000 subscribers. So go check it out. They have a free migration plan if you have over 5,000 subscribers. So definitely worth your time. That is an affiliate link. Just so you know, I do get rewarded. If you use that link, you will be helping a small business owner. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more. I have so many plans to record so many more videos about Kit. So if there's something you want to hear me talk about, if there's something you want me to share, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment and tell me what you want to know. Maybe I'll create a video just for you answering your question. Thanks for watching. See you soon.